Talladega Superspeedway, the home of the start of the round of 12 this afternoon. The 704 Games 500. The weather here, it's an overcast, chilly, very chilly fall day. Early October day, temperatures are in the low 60s this afternoon. They're going to stay around there basically all race time in. Oh yeah, there is a threat of rain. So last time there was a threat of rain at a Talladega race, numerous cars wrecked. How many will be in trouble today? We'll find out. Qualifying yesterday afternoon, even though today the weather kind of condenses to a 2-day show. Qualifying yesterday afternoon after the truck race had Hunter Miller edging out Wood Brothers driver Xavier Sodreska just by 2/100ths of a second. This afternoon, there are going to be 12 laps. We had pushed the start time up from 1:33 p.m. Eastern to 1:15. p.m. Eastern. That means about 20 minutes from now is when you'll see these cars on track. Joe Gibbs drivers notably kind of took an interesting approach to this qualifying session. All 4 Gibbs drivers are in the round of 12, okay? And all of them start 27th through 30th. Good strategy to wait out the big one? We'll have to find out. Anyways, while we're here, let's take a look at your starting lineup. In row 1, we have the Farmers Insurance Chevrolet and the Motorcraft Ford. Row 2, we have the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet and the White Deuce Ford. Row 3, we find the McDonald's Mac Tonight Chevrolet and the Furniture Row car. Row number 4, we find the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet and the Smithfield Ford. Starting today from row 5, we have the Lowe's Chevrolet and the Pennzoil Ford. Starting this afternoon from row number 6, we have the Fastenal Ford and the Advocare Ford. Beginning this afternoon from row 7, we have the Busch Beer Ford Chevrolet and the 5-Hour Energy Toyota. Beginning today from row 8, we have the Target Credit One Chevrolet and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Beginning this race from row 9, we have the 29 car and the Hasada Nation Monster Energy Chevrolet. Starting today from row 10, we have the 7 car and the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet. While we look through the rest of this field this afternoon, let's see if we can mic up the 24 car Jacob 2. Hey Jacob 2, this is Benny Parsons up in the NBC Sports booth, you guys. Yeah, BP, I got you. So with the shortened practice sessions and the 2 practice sessions early in the morning, with how the short practice session on Friday and the early morning session before the truck race, how do you think this? Have you figured out any good readings from what your car is going to do in the draft today? Honestly, I just used the WorkWithStack graphs to figure out who's going to be pushing me to the end. Our plan is, since we qualified all 4 of our Hendrick cars in the top 10, late in the race, 3 of our teammates, we all have a system in our cars that switches to radios of spotters nearby that have the same make. So, for example, I got Richard Childress and the 4 and the 41 on speed dial, and I also got the 5 with me since he got knocked out. He has made a deal that he will help any of us provided he's not taken out in the big one. Anyways, our Napa Brake Chevrolet, very fast, and hopefully we'll stay out of the big one and move on to the round of 12. Thanks for your time, buddy. Hope you have a good one down there. 10-4. Here's one of our 6 HD cameras this afternoon. The starting third is the 24 car, Jacob Tube, with the Napa onboard. Starting ninth, we have the Lowe's Home Improvement onboard with Nate Sherman. Starting in the 25th position, we have Jonathan Morrison in the American Ethanol onboard. Starting in fourth, we got the White Deuce Ford of Robert Smith. Starting all the way back in 29th, we have the FedEx Express onboard of Sports Center Cup Series. And beginning today's race is our last onboard, is the 5 car of Hunter Miller. All these onboards can be found on are sponsored by Sony. You can also find HD feeds of this race from each of these 6 onboards if you log on to NASCAR.com/racebuddy and click on any of the 12 remaining chasers, since they all have onboards. You can also go on Twitter, since NASCAR is going to be streaming all 12 onboards in 1080p HD, or you can also watch onboards on NBCSports.com. Go under the tab NASCAR. Lights are out on the pace car. 12 laps, 34 cars. These drivers are going to be try to stay out of the big one. And hope the winner today will probably be the one that moves on to the round of 12 and gets a break from Charlotte in the madhouse that is Bowman Gray, coming up in a couple weeks. Remember, the start-finish line is not in the center of the tri-oval, just like Daytona. If this was the last lap at Daytona, Hunter Miller would have won. But we're at Talladega, and the start-finish line is all the way down here in Turn 1. If the leader's coming off Turn 4 today, and it's the last lap, he's going to have to do some major blocking if he wants to win this race. Sellout crowd this afternoon at Talladega. As 34 men begin to take on this 2.6 mile beast. And also, these 12 drivers are going to be on 12 laps of just nerve-wracking racing. We are green on NBC. Hendrick Motorsports drivers are all the way down the backstretch. They already have a plan to stay formed on that outside line. Stay on that inside lane. 88 and 48 immediately pulled down when they had enough momentum to do so. And this really is going to shuffle some things on the bottom lane. And look at how back the one car is going to drop. You see the one car. See, if you're in the middle lane here at Talladega, it seems very inviting on the back straightaway. If you hit a good pusher, it is almost advantageous at times. But in the corners, you end up losing time, and it's really not that much of a game. Three wide through tri-oval. See, all the Gibbs cars are waiting out this thing at the back. Hopefully they don't get caught up in the crash. In a potential crash. And then 28 cars are all within a second of each other as they make their way down into turn one. You can see right here, how tight is this? If you look up front, Jacob Tube, in a way, is kind of working with the 5 just to work on his restrictor plate program. Since the last time he won is back at Daytona. And it looks like we got trouble here on the back stretch. We got 2 cars sideways, and it's the big one. Nate Sherman hard into the wall. Joseph Lombard in the crash. And the big one finally strikes early here at Daytona. Jonathan Morrison is in it. Oh, they're still wrecking down here. Jonathan Morrison involved. Major damage to his car. And that right there, the dreaded consequence of pack racing. Just shown right there. The big one. In the middle of the backstretch. Not even halfway through lap 2. And there are a lot of torn up material already. Some torn up race cars. See Joseph Lombard. Big time damage to his car. Window net is down. Alvin Alonso eliminated from the chase last week. Nate Sherman, one of the big stories of this one. Grayson Alcevedo. He was in the big wreck last week. Last time we were down at Talladega, he was one of the drivers that took that significant shot to the inside. KFC Cup Series driving away from this crash. You see Derek Lewis got the winner net down on his car. Grayson Alcevedo tries to drive away from this incident. You see the 22 Alex Moon. Frustrating year continues for her. She is down on pit road with looks like significant left front damage. In fact, with all the debris that's down here, NASCAR has decided to throw a red flag because of just the foam and the oil that has been left by some of these cars, especially with the 48 being damaged. Bill Weber is see the 48 crew down here, basically almost as if they're running to the garage get repairs ready for that car. Is yep. Nate Sherman's out of the car. And Bill Weber's staying right there with him. Nate, frustrating and early end to the race here at Talladega. Can you take us through it? What you saw? One's racing like a damn idiot and just wrecked a bunch of us. That's what happened. The one's a damn idiot. I don't know what happened. Somebody got loose and just wrecked us, honestly. There you see Derek Lewis being towed to the garage. His day is definitely done. Lap 2, and numerous cars are caught up in this one. Approximately, if we look at this wreck, different angle, not a lot of cars looked to be caught up in it. About 4 an 11 car incident that sparked here on the backstretch put us under a red flag because of all the oil that debris that was essentially left by a lot of these cars. See the 17, he's got some significant nose damage. He's going behind the wall to join the 48 of Nate Sherman and the 42 of Derek Lewis. And the 43 of Joseph Lombard is behind the wall as well. A lot of cars that were in this accident. In fact, if we look further down, you see the 22 had a lot of suspension damage. She is being told to take her car to the garage. Her afternoon is unfortunately done. Well, the big one struck early. 5 cars taken out, but a big story in this, Nate Sherman and Jonathan Morrison getting collected in this early pileup as the caution flag is back out in the 704Games500 on NBC. With the look of the cut line now, the highest driver on the track that is running, that is in the chase, is the 24. And with the damage controlling how, it just goes to show you how unpredictable this new format is. How tracks like this can really play a factor in who moves on to the next round of the chase and who does not. Nate Sherman began this race in 3rd. He is currently in 11th in the chase standings, which means he's got Charlotte and Talladega to rebound, don't get me wrong. But he's got a lot of work to do. See Jacob Tube, Apollo Moon, Dylan Murway, Eric Gamer, KFC Cup Series, Sports Center Cup Series, Zach Speed, and Caleb Hoffman are above the cut line right now if the round of 8 were to start at Charlotte, which it wouldn't. Anyways. Going down for the restart. Hunter Miller lets the inside, and we are green. Back green here at Talladega. With this caution, taking out some big contenders early. Look who we have up in the top 10 now. We have Blake Dillon in the 10, Jessica Shelton in the 56. Up there we got Jake Basinger in the 55. Got a lot of interesting names up here. And the 21 did not get a good restart that time. I think the 2 wants to go with the 21. And looks like he's going to, Xavier Sardrusca's going to take the 24 and drop him out. Out in the middle. Middle lane, stay in the middle, good. Middle, good. Still there, still there. Still there, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, still there. Clear, clear, clear. All right, buddy. Let's get back in this thing. Look at the momentum that the 24 just lost. And meanwhile, up front, look at the 10 who glued to the back bumper of the 20. The 2 who glued to himself basically to the back bumper of the 21. Is just pushed himself and rocketed himself all the way around the 5. Because there's a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. Let's scan on. Listen to Dylan Murway as his spotter Timmy Hill as he tries to guide his driver through the absolute mess that is Talladega. 3 wide, 3 wide, clear. Anywhere you want. All right, anywhere you want. Still there. Okay, there's going to be trouble behind you. Could be a small wreck behind you. Got a wreck behind you. Caution's out. Oh, trouble back straight away. We got one car slamming into the inside wall. That is Jake Basinger. Also involved is a 31. Yellow flag is out. Wow. How there was a potential to be that potential for a really, really big wreck was reduced? I don't know, honestly. But we didn't have a wreck. So go us. Looks like the 20 has a little bit of damage in this one. somebody, the way that 24 was dropping back with no help, somebody hit the back of the 27, got him loose into the 20, and that's what started this whole deal. Hot Wheels 44 is out of his car. We legit just 34 cars, and in the first 5 laps of this race, destroyed 7 of them. Now we get another restart. This time, 6 laps in. We're halfway through this race and 2 cautions. We told you, rain is coming. These drivers do not know when. So, we've seen them race their hearts out in the first half of this race. And unfortunately, it has taken out some cars. The 20 car, FYI, he had to pit for damage repair. He did not lose under this caution. He is now back in this field. The 18 pitted with him, so he'd have a teammate to draft with. Here we go. You know what, bro? Hopefully things settle down. And by settle down, I mean please just don't wreck, please, God. I'm praying to you, don't wreck a bunch of cars. Even though we're probably going to. That was good. Please just don't wreck a bunch of people. I mean, hell, the way these guys have been racing, I'm surprised there wasn't a bigger crash that last caution. If you want to speak of some drafting plans here, especially getting the later stages of this race, let's listen to what the 4-car Dylan Murway had to say. Timmy, can you make sure to go down with the 41 of the 10, provided they're not whoever's nearest to me on the restart. It's a late caution. Whoever's nearest, tell them to work with me and push the crap out of me, boys. Tell them to push the crap out of me. And I mean push the living crap out of me. Then 4. Like right now, the 5 or 25 better be on my back bumper by the time we get to the white flag. Alright. That right there, that's a driver that knows what he wants. Onto in this race is who he wants to work with, and more importantly, who he wants pushing the checkers. I'm sure you want to chase or anybody who's a teammate like the 14, what is, but keep in mind he's going to be going for the win himself too, so you can't always rely on a company teammate made to win. As we almost had a big crash down there, and one is the 18, the 11 literally forced their way up in this pack, as we were almost had a big crash a few moments ago. The 18-20, they saw a gap when in the trial. The 3 came. Whoa. Down. You want to talk about crazy? That should have been that's a very dangerous spot to be doing that, especially in the trial. See, Jacob Tube comes down, maybe to try to stop the 18 and the 20. Crazy racing all the way around this joint. Let's see if we can go for an nationwide inside ride. All right, off rolling. 4 wide behind you, 4 wide. Everyone's going wide behind you, bud. Everybody's going wild. 4 wide. 25's pushing you. 25's pushing you. You 4 wide, still there. Okay, now watch 24. Watch 24. Still there, middle. Still there. They're still there. Now, all right, now you got the 24 with you, shoving hard. Still there. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, we're good. Middle. This is what you call the eye of the storm right now. 3 wide, 4 wide, pretty much all the way through this massive group of cars. And by massive, I mean massive group of cars. 3, 4 wide. Especially with the 4 trying to make a move to separate this side draft. We almost had a wreck right there. So we're going down the backstretch. They're getting sucked into the draft. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. This doesn't look pretty. You got the draft separated, believe it or not. Just stayed right on the 21's bumper. And look at the 2 just getting sucked back into this. Look at this. 3 by, oh my God, 4 wide back in this group. I'm praying nobody slows up and just turns this into a big wreck. Because this is a perfect recipe for just a huge-ass wreck to erupt right now. 4 wide, still there. All right, 4 wide, wide, 4. All right, bottom of 4. 4. As a spotter, what do? This is probably the most nail-biting part of the race. It's lots of pins and needles, just especially a lot of definitely some nail-biting moments there. So there's some contact between the 5 and the 78. It looked like. It looks like the 5 is possibly reporting a tire down out on the 5 of Hunter Miller. Matt, Hunter Miller got on the radio a few months ago and said the 78 in the back inside of us, we might be having a tire down. You know, they're trying Try to get down as quick as you can. Try to get down. Try to get down. Now there it is. And the 5 of Hunter Miller blows a tire. Coming off turn number 2. Dude, everyone misses him. Caution is out. You want to talk about racing and everybody just dodging him? That, honestly, that should have been a big wreck. Well, now this is when a lot of these drivers are going to be getting down into that fuel window, seeing if they can make it on gas or not, on fuel, if there's possibly another caution, which, knowing how aggressive these guys were, I'm surprised we didn't hit 3. Hell, we had 2 in the first half. Half of this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more. Or potentially. See the 5, the winner is down on that car. And this is what sitting on the side looks like. And you saw some crazy, nerve-wracking racing right there. That, in a way, that is just the heat. Just the heat. It's just a warm-up for what these drivers are going to be seeing late in the stage. We have another restart potentially, which, knowing trends at Talladega, we probably might. Hunter Miller is being taken off the track. When we restart today, there will be 3 laps of racing to go. And just a reminder that next Sunday is NASCAR's homecoming. Down at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Coverage begins at 12 p.m. Eastern with the running of the WGN Quali 500 at 12:30 p.m. on NBC. Also, the Sunday after that, is the round of 12. Race at Bowman Gray Stadium, also on NBC, the Lilly Diabetes 500. Coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. And remember, on the non-NASCAR side of things, tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's a NFC North Division matchup between the Lions and the Bears. Coverage begins after your local news on NBC today, and the conclusion of this race, which has been a fair smash 'em up. 26 cars on the lead lap. 27 of them running. Nate Sherman went through a lot of repairs on his car. And he could very well be a possible contender to win this race. And anyways, 3 laps to go, and we're green. Yeah, another great push by the 2 and the 21. The 4 or the 24, they have to find a way to figure out how to stop that train from forming up in the draft like that. They have to find a way to stop that draft from happening. But here comes Jacob 2 trying to make a third lane on the bottom, maybe put the 4 in the middle as they head down the backstretch. What a move by the 24, and it's going to take him all the way to the front onto the field. That rule is if you get caught in the middle, there is not a lot of help, but the 10 with a big shove to the 4. 4 of Dylan Murway. Red flag, good luck. Good. All right, what? Come to the line. 3 wide, all the way behind this field. Here comes the 18, trying to make a move. The 2 comes back to block. Nobody make a mistake in this pack, please. Please, God, no. Don't nobody make a mistake. Oh, whoa. Whoa, what a move. 25 all the way down in the shoved all the way down on the apron. Look at this. Crazy fight for the lead and possibly the win. And right here. Very soon you will find. Okay. 3, 4. Whoa, there it is. And it's the big one. Finally, it's a huge wreck. Get up. Oh, Barrack. And a lot of torn up race cars in this one. And look who emerges with the lead off of turn 4. That guy right there, Dylan Merwin, 4, who was very lucky not to get caught up in it. Just pulled that wheel hard left. And by the way, the red flag is out, because there is just a lot of damage and a lot of torn up race cars that we have to sort through. To the 19, Caleb Hoffman, bringing his car to pit road. He's got a few wins on the year. Definitely not going to be winning today. Jacob, dude, he had such a good run going. He's up against the wall down the apron down here. In fact, there's just so much debris and destruction. The 4 Gibbs cars, they had the strategy of and the mindset of ride everything out in the back. Eventually, it all just caught up to him. Caleb Hoffman to the garage. The 11 is still on pit road. He is getting repairs done on his car. See the 10 is down on pit road as well. Of this group of cars, and we tore up a lot of them right here. In fact, the 78 is continuing. So we have 13 cars that are out of this race. Their update there is going to be about 4 of them that are going to be continuing. These, actually 5. The rest are obviously done. Well, never mind. 4. Well, looking at damage, at first glance, I thought 78 got significant part of that. He really just slowed it down, just slightly tapped the 24. But look at how destroyed that 24 car is, though. Even with the fact that half the field has been caught up in crashes today, people like Jacob Tube, Zach Speed, Sports Center Cup Series are going to get relatively quick top 20s. In fact, Jonathan Morrison, who's the 3 car, and the 3 car has been very synonymous with success at this restricted plate track. Well, was considered, the main factor of success, at least. This car right here is in contention to win. He has been in radio talks with one of Grayson Alcevdo, who was in the first big crash earlier in this race. In fact, of this field, there are 10 cars that have not received damage in any of the race's crashes today. Well, in the meantime, we're going to be going to a green-white checkered. The 4 of Dylan. Remember, there are 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. The race ended under caution last year at this place. Last year, do we see a green finish? Do we see a photo finish? Or will another crash play into who wins this one? still dead even with the lead. Apollo Moon with a big shove from the 78 right down into the front of the field. If you're the 3, what do? If you're anybody out of this second lane, what do? Do you wait for somebody to move, or you try to go for it here? Especially if you're the 3 or the 21. Look at the 3. He wants to go, but the 4 is just going to stay tight to that white line. Here we come. White flag is going to be in the air this time here at Talladega for Apollo Moon as the entire state of Alabama is on their feet. Dylan Murray with a big move. Move to the outside, the 4 to block. Look at the 21 pole rushes way through there. And this is a fight for the lead and a fight for the win. Oh, they hit. They hit. Oh, they hit. Contact there. Xavier saw Dreska up to the point. Jonathan Morrison, now he has to decide who to choose. Here they come, off turn 4. What a amazing move to the outside by the 3. This field is going absolutely mad right now for this amazing finish that they are seeing. Jonathan Morrison all the way clear to the outside. I'm coming through the triangle. And the sprint home, they got, crash. Big pile up behind. Two cars on their side. And Jonathan Morrison is going to get the win here at Talladega, but there is a violent crash behind them. Wow. The 21 of Xavier Sadruska was the car that got propelled up into the catch fencing and came back on, slid back on his roof, finished this race in third. Well, while we figure out who finished where, as there are multiple cars that are caught up in this. In fact, we're basing by cars that were rolling at the finish. Only like Menard's Cup Series dodged this entire crash. He may be one credited with second. Basically, the 21 got flipped up into the air. The front end ripped out of the car, by the way. Slams onto the top of the full back to the ground on his roof. And as we notice, this is the second time in a row we've hit a wild flip to end a race. Or third time in straight restrictor plate race that we've had a violent crash end this race. And that is an incredible sight to see. Xavier Sadreska, he has the 1 minute down, which means he is moving. Safety workers are checking everyone out, see if they are okay. The other car that got involved in this was the 88 who almost went into the catch fence upside down in the same path as the 21. Oh my God. Wow. There are other drivers who are checking on the 21, who, by the way, did finish this race in 4th. Xavier Sadreska they're trying to move what is left of this destroyed race car over and load it up on a wrecker. Jonathan Morrison, Menards Cup Series, have driven all the way back around, and they're checking on Xavier Sadreska. Man, I just hope they're okay, because that was a violent flip. The front end of the car is sheared in the grandstands. As we look at the scene, there are ambulance workers who are trying to clear this track and possibly see if they can roll people and other safety personnel to this frightening accident. Second time in 3 seasons that we've had a catch fence crash and a restrictor plate race. And I mean a violent catch fence crash. Two big crashes in this race of remaining laps destroyed multiple cars. In fact, there were 13 involved in this last wreck. All but 2 in this pack came across the finish line in one piece. As we have a total of 16 cars got caught up in this accident. Wow. As all-star Jonathan Morrison made a nice 4-wide move right here. He just juked to the outside. And I think the 7 thought he saw a gap. Oh yeah. Oh, be ready. This is going to be violent. Oh my God. Holy cow. Look at how much fence that this car tore down. In the 4 cars that kickstarted this accident, all of them finished in the top 6. These cars with this package, they just keep getting airborne. We didn't have a flip at Daytona in the 500, thank God. We had a flip to end Talladega, 2 flips to end Daytona in a wreck that you normally see in the ARCA series. and a flip to end the race here. Anyways, even with though Nate Sherman got caught up in the pile up on lap 2, he still finished this race inside the top 20. Granted, it was many laps behind, but it was still in the top 20. You see the results move by. Jonathan Morrison shocked everybody, punched his ticket into the round of 8. Xavier Sadreska is out of that car, and some updates there on Xavier Sadreska. He is out of the car and walking. That is unbelievable. After a violent flip on the last lap, that I honestly thought that was scary. That was like an IndyCar wreck right there. The way those cars got propped up into the air, 21 up into the fence, the entire front of the car is gone. He's lucky. I mean, it looked like he went in roof first, but it wasn't like a side hit. It wasn't like the way Dylan's flew in, where it flipped and then came back down. It was flipped at a kind of a weird angle. Paul Moon is also out of his car. Argues he was the other car that got airborne, but later came back on the 88 and rode the fence. Unlike the 21, who basically flipped up into the fence and the front end ripped his car in half. Well, it was a fun one today at Talladega. It was kind of scary, but in the end, Jonathan Morrison punched his ticket into the round of 8, the eliminator round. And he is one step closer to possibly achieving his goal, earning a spot in the Final Four at Atlanta. Next Sunday, tune in at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for the running of the UAW GM Quality 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway on NBC. Remember tonight, watch the NFC North matchup in Sunday Night Football with the Lions and the Bears. That's what's coming up later tonight on NBC and in the next few weeks. So long from Talladega.